close that window?
Yeah, close the window and then up to the volume on the computer. You should be able to hear yourself.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's actually not.
Shooting for second supply. I don't know what's going on with this. That should be it.
There's nothing on the board that should be pressed or depressed, right? We got levels. Like everything would come from the board.
It could be the board, so what yeah, click on Excel and see if you just get the levels on one side.
Okay, so all right, now
Oh, there we go. I can hear that.
you can.
Yeah, so go ahead and do your live broadcast here, and I'll check back in a minute, and I'll update you on what's happening.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Shoot me a text if I need to call you, and I'll call you back.
Yep, I'll do that.
All right, cool, thanks.
Okay, yep.
Eric, what did the second kid? Dia struck out. The second one struck out. So strikeout swinging as well.
Yeah, strikeout swinging in the second out.
1 2 1 2 3, right? Yeah, and then Arenas was a pop of third.
Yes. Second or short.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have a really nice setup.
Hey, are you in the AV? Are you part of the AV club or the AV program?
We don't have the AV, so but we're trying to.
Yeah.
Trying to start one.
So let me just kind of explain here a little
Leading
bit.
off in the bottom of the second for the Apaches, shortstop number 5, Jorge Amaya.
I have to broadcast, so I'll talk to you between innings.
All right, so here we are on the bottom of the second inning. It's Nogales up on top 3-0. And here's the number 8 hitter, the junior shortstop, Jorge Amaya. Jorge is a 153 average, a pair of doubles, a triple, 6 runs batted in, 10 runs scored on the season. Very smooth fielder on the infield. I've seen him play second base and shortstop. He's playing shortstop today. And there's a sharply laced single that gets past the diving glove of Luis Arenas. Just past him at first base. A good attempt there by Luis, but a single for Jorge Amaya, who's at first base.
Leadoff single for Jorge Amaya brings up number 42 left fielder Alain Garcia.
And here's Alain Garcia, the senior starting left fielder, who was the number 9 hitter in the order for Nogales. A 442 average, a pair of doubles, and 13 runs batted in. He's got good speed with 5 stolen bases. And he flashes bunt, and he drops down a beauty here. Fox at third charges, makes a throw across. Nice play there by Eric Fox, who is a great fielder at the hot corner. But the sacrifice is good as Amaya goes to second base.
Nice little bunt. Bringing up leadoff batter number 8, Gerardo Paco.
So 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Again, in the top of the bottom of the first inning, Nogales put together quite a rally, putting 3 runs across the board. Gerardo Paco, Marty Romero, and Thomas Teal all scoring the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in that lineup. And here's Gerardo Paco, who singled in his first at bat and scored a run. The center fielder, number 8, left-handed batter. Runner on second base with 1 out. Fouls that one off behind and out of play. Again, David Davila, the junior, fastball, curveball, changeup under a lot of pressure already here. It's been constant runners on the base paths, putting him under extreme pressure. And the heat is on literally here, 90 degrees on a hot, I'll call it a summer day, even though it's really the 28th of April. It is warm. Or the 29th of April on a Saturday. Great crowd here. It's packed house at War Memorial Stadium in Nogales. Grounder, nice stab there at short, deep in the hole, makes a throw across the diamond, and a great play and a great throw there by Montes at short. So Anthony Montes deep in the hole, making a great play across the diamond. So a good inning there for Davila to get out of trouble. And one runner is left on base. So we'll head to the top of the third inning with the Apaches on top 3-0. All right, so here we are in the top of the third inning, and the Bobcats have their senior second baseman, Isaiah Higuera. The Cats have been set down in order in both the first and second innings, so Isaiah is trying to make something happen here. Again, a very difficult task when you have the elite pitcher, Sal Valenzuela, on the bump. 4-1, a .76 earned run average, a whip of 1.14, and he gets a swing and a miss there on a strike. Big-time strikeout pitcher for Nogales. And for him on the season, sorry, I've got my stats like all over the place here. I want to say he's in the 60s with his strikeouts. So 36 2/3 innings coming into today, 64 strikeouts against 20 walks. So averaging about 2 strikeouts per inning. Higuera takes a big swing and a miss at that one, a fastball that was up and away. And it's a 2-2 count here to Isaiah. Higuera, a .257 average, 21 runs batted in on the season. So he and Jimmy Diaz are the leading run producers for the Bobcats. That curveball maybe broke a little bit too low, and it's a full count here to Isaiah. Higuera, one of 6 seniors for the Bobcats. And he draws a walk. So exactly what Cienega needed here was a base runner just to get things moving. Try to take this pitcher out of his comfort zone.
For the Bobcats, left fielder, number 18, Joey Steiger.
And Joey Steiger is the batter, the left fielder, a junior for the Cats, a .262 batting average, 3 doubles, a triple, and 10 runs batted in. And there's a called strike, a fastball in the outside corner. So you see Valenzuela here mixing. He can go fastball in and out, high and low. He'll drop that curveball across beautifully, which is a great curve, and a changeup as well. And there's a fastball outside, maybe up as well. So a ball and a strike here to Steiger. Higuera at first base has 2 stolen bases on the season. And he's picked off. So just like that, it was that hesitation by Sal Valenzuela.
Nice pickoff move.
So difficult when you have the left-handed pitcher, and he had a great move. So you had Isaiah, again, as I was saying, talking about his steals, who was just caught leaning in the wrong direction, and he was caught out to dry. And an easy pickoff to wipe off that leadoff, the first base runner of the game for Cienega, picked off at first base. Steiger fouls that one off out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes. So difficult, right? You've got the left-hander on the mound who can look right across that first base. So well aware of anybody who is on that base. And then just kind of like a cobra. You just don't want to get mesmerized looking into the eyes of the pitcher. And it's a bit of a bluffing game. And Isaiah Higuera just leaning the wrong direction. Sal Valenzuela picks him off. So we have a ball and 2 strikes here to Joey Steiger. Curveball, and he fouls it off out of play down the first base line. I want to put my best out there, too, to Cienega's softball team. They're playing right now at Mountain View High School. So we have 2 KJs who lead our baseball and softball programs. You have Kelly Johnson, the manager of the boys team, and you have Kelsey Jenkins Harshman, who is in year 1 as the softball coach at Cienega, also Team Canada. And she's still on Team Canada. She's a baller. So I want to wish my very best out there to the girls of Cienega, the softball team, playing right now. Here's a flare to right field. It's a fair ball. Off of the glove. You have the runner flying around first base, headed for second. And sliding in safely with a double, Joey Steiger. So a nice little piece of hitting there from Joey just to flare the ball to right field. Excellent effort by Alan Durazo to try to make that sliding catch. Couldn't quite get there. It was very close, just inside the first base foul line. The ball trickled to the fence, but Durazo popped on his feet quickly and made the throw to second base. But there's another runner for the Bobcats. Now they've had 2 base runners here in this inning, and they didn't have any in the first 2 innings for them. So here's Emiliano Mejia, the junior right fielder, a 186 batting average, a double, 5 runs batted in a big place here for him. Steiger at second base, nobody keeping him close, and Mejia trying to drop down a bunt. It was a fastball that was fouled off of his handle, out of play. So I think the best way to attack somebody who's trying to put down a bunt is to throw some heat or something that's breaking toward them with velocity in on the hands. Very difficult to kind of get the barrel of the bat out there. And if you're bunting, you've got to sell out and commit yourself to that bunt. So we'll see if KJ keeps the bunt sign down for Emiliano Mejia, the batter, with a strike in the ledger. Pitch out is high and outside, so a ball and a strike. Just in case that runner at second base had any thoughts of taking off for third base. And again, Steiger has decent speed out there, the left fielder. He's got a pair of stolen bases on the year. And the left-hander, Sal Valenzuela, picks off. And the second baseman who was covering there not in time. So still holding that glove onto Joey Steiger's jersey. And Steiger's safe, but a good pickoff move. So we've seen here Valenzuela picking off Isaiah Higuera, who led off the inning with a walk and was picked off. And now we've seen a nice move there to second base, the pirouette from the mound. This ball is fouled. Third baseman makes a heck of a catch. Goes over the fence, the railing of the fence by the dugout, the Apache's dugout, down the third base line.
Heck of a play by third baseman number 6, Carlos Peralta.
Carlos Peralta sold out for that one, had to scamper. You've got some pretty decent territory here in foul ground. It's not quite the Coliseum in Oakland, nothing is that. But there's ample territory here down both the third and first base sides. So Carlos Peralta on his horse all the way, reached over the railing to make the catch on that one, and his teammates in the dugout, they all took 3 giant steps back to give him the territory to make that. A great play at third base. So 2 outs now, and the Bobcats back to the top of the order with Anthony Montes. Montes, his first at bat, it was a deep fly ball to deep left center field. And we've got some fans out there behind the left center field fence on top of trucks who are, I would say, they're tailgating. And why not? So Montes, 0 for 1 today. He's got a 284 average on the season, 3 doubles, 3 triples, 10 runs scored on the year. 27 runs scored and 13 stolen bases. And a 1-1 pitch. Change up is maybe just outside on that one. So 2 balls and 1 strike is the count to Anthony Montes. There's a curve. Breaks over beautifully for a called strike. 1-1 one of those kind of curveballs that just kind of makes the batter's knees buckle a little bit. So great movement on that one, horizontally and vertically. Again, Valenzuela, the lefty, so that curveball breaking across the plate into the right-handed hitter, Anthony Montes. That fastball's outside, and now it's a 3-2 count. Curveball, and it's fouled off down the third base side into the Apaches dugout. Nice job by Anthony Montes to stay alive on that one. So full count. Fastball fouled off the hands. This one goes down the first base side and deflected by one of the players there lined up along the fence. Both teams are standing. Nobody's sitting down. A lot of nervous energy here. Of course, the stakes are so high. It's the 5A state playoffs, the opening round. The number 3 seed Nogales Apaches hosting the number 14 seed Cienega Bobcats. War Memorial Stadium. I would say the best stadium in the area. It's not even close. And a full count again. Valenzuela put through some stress in this inning after coasting in the top of the first and top of the second. There's the curve. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Valenzuela with 5 strikeouts now as he strolls off confidently, stalks his way off into foul territory, and gets fist bumps from his teammates coming off the bench. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning with the Apaches on top, 3-0. You're watching the game here and listening to it on Bobcat TV. So Thomas Teal reaches on an error. That'll be E6 there against Anthony Montes. And tough, right? So I'm going to say that the sun certainly played a factor in that one.
Now up to bat for the Apaches.
So E6,
Valenzuela.
Teal running alertly is at second base.
Second base for Thomas Teal, number 20.
So it was a high pop-up behind the third baseman, and you had Eric Fox and Anthony Montes who were both pursuing and tracking that ball. And then a tough one. Oh yeah, of course. So a tough play to make there. Regardless, the Apaches have their leadoff runner aboard at second base. It's Teal, and here's Sal Valenzuela. Valenzuela, his first at bat, flew out to left field. And here's a grounder, a tough one at second base. Takes a nice hop there to Isaiah. Good throw, and Luis Arenas has to reach across his body to make the catch on that one. So a little bit difficult for the first baseman, but Arenas is great at first as well. So 6-3 on the play. And Thomas Teal now stands 90 feet away from home at third base. David Sasueta is up. He walked his first time with the bases loaded to draw in a run. Sasueta, a 400 batting average. Again, the magical number of 400. I think Ted Williams was the last player in the major leagues to hit 400. I think he had a 406 batting average. And I should know the year, but that year is eluding me right now. It was like a magic season. I think it was the same year that DiMaggio had his 56-game hitting streak. So there's a pitch that's low and outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Sasueta. Teal's at third. The Apaches are on top 3-0. David Davila is the pitcher for Cienega. It's been very turbulent for him this afternoon. And he gets a called strike. So 2 balls and a strike. The Bobcats are in at the corners. So first and third are in, trying to cut down the runner at third on a grounder. Here's a pop-up. Anthony Montes at short, tracks back and falls down as he makes the catch. Runner at third tags. It's a high throw. He's in there safely. So again, the sun here is causing all sorts of difficulties. It'll be an RBI on the sac fly by David Sasueta. Thomas Teal scores.
Catch by Bobcats. Another run for the Apaches brings up right fielder, number 44, Alan Durazo.
So that run will be unearned. Remember, it was Teal who reached on an error by the shortstop. Again, another high pop fly behind third base. We have a conference at the mound here. Kelly Johnson, the manager of the Bobcats, out at the hill. All the infielders are there converging, and they're going over different scenarios, right? And I would imagine that he's just telling these guys to just try to settle down. And I know these kids are putting so much pressure on themselves, right? So I think that's probably the message from KJ. Hey, settle down. Like, when it comes down to it, we're just playing baseball. Let's get one more out, get back in the dugout, and let's get the hits rolling. I'm sure it's a message, something along those lines. Here's Alan Durazo, the right fielder for Nogales, a junior, 385 batting average. His first at bat, he drove in a run on a sacrifice fly. He flashes bunt and pulls it back. It's a pitch outside for ball 1. Nogales up 4-0. It's the bottom of the third inning. 2 outs. Fastball called strike. So a ball and a strike. There's a fastball swung on and missed by Durazo. 1 ball and 2 strike count. There's nobody on base. Lou Chavez, the catcher here, putting up a big target on the outside corner. Oh, it's a pitch. Looked like a change that broke, and it was just low and outside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alan Durazo. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So a strikeout that was needed, but a difficult inning again for Cienega. The error behind third base by the shortstop led to the sac fly by Sasueta, and the Apaches now extending the lead to 4-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning on Bobcat TV.
And meet our lovely parents, students, and coaches of the NHS Stud Cheer Team.
So warming up here as we approach the top of the 4th inning for the Cats. It'll be their 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Chavez, Fox, and Diaz. I like that Nogales, the Apaches players that are coming off the bench, they're all warming up too, like doing a little bit of like toss here in foul territory. Again, decent territory in foul ground, both down the third base and first base sides. And Chavez, his first at bat, he struck out looking. 5 strikeouts this afternoon for Sal Valenzuela, the ace left-hander for Nogales. Just a junior. Drops a curveball in, and I guess inside on that one. So 1 ball.
Okay, she got it.
Fastball. Nice grounder to third base. Good. Just gets through there. Excellent stab by the third baseman from Nogales, who is Carlos Peralta. So Chavez just going the other way, putting that barrel of the bat head out there and getting some nice contact, a sharp single. Excellent effort there by Carlos Peralta at third, who dove to his left, but it was past him. So Chavez at first with the single. And here's Eric Fox. Fox's first at bat, struck out swinging. Again, Cienega just trying to do anything out here to disrupt the rhythm and the flow of Sal Valenzuela, who has been, for the most part, cruising. Put him through a little bit of duress in the last inning. You had Isaiah Higuera, who drew the leadoff walk, but then was picked off. And then Joey Steiger had a double, and then it was a pop to third base, and then a strikeout swinging to get out of the innings. That was the most turbulence that Valenzuela has faced yet this afternoon. Big off throw at first base, close tag, the runner is safe at first. And you hear all of Cienega's dugout yelling in unison, back, and back slid safely. But a great pickup from Valenzuela, classic left-hander. Curveball, drops in for a strike. 0-1 count to Fox. Eric Fox is working on his mechanics between pitches. Usually takes a half step out of the box and practices his swing. There's a fastball that's outside, so a ball and a strike here. And Fox, again, the junior third baseman, number 40, very smooth, very fluid at third base. And a craftsman who is always working on his craft is hitting. There's a curve a little bit inside. That one broke a little bit too far inside over the plate. So 2 balls and a strike now to Fox. Lou Chavez takes a little bit of an aggressive lead at first. Got to be careful. Valenzuela's got the excellent pickoff move. We've seen it a couple of times here at first and second base. Pitch is up and away. So maybe a little distraction with that runner on base and all that movement over there at first. Eric Fox, a 3-1 count, looking for a pitch that he can drive. And you've got Chavez, Luch at first. Antsy, jittery at first base. There's a fastball on the outside for a called strike. So a full count now to Fox. Pickoff throw to first. Lou Chavez slides back safely. Chavez, the leadoff runner at first. Full count to Fox. Sal Valenzuela deals. Fox fouls it off, foul out of play down the first base side. There's a lone fan out there with a giant umbrella. It's one of those umbrellas that you would use in your picnic area in the backyard of your house. But she's smart. Like, she's out there on an island unto herself, and she's completely basking in the shade. Need the shade today. 90 degrees at least, and it feels hotter than that. Welcome to summer. It's just going to get hotter and hotter every day. Feigns the pickoff throw. Does Valenzuela. He stepped off the rubber. And here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss on the curveball, and it was a foul tip that was caught there nicely by Thomas Teal for strike 3. 6th strikeout for Valenzuela.
Center fielder number 2, Jimmy Diaz.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jason. Stephanie, Jason, nice to meet you, Evelyn. Grab chairs, sit down, be comfortable. So Fox strikes out swinging. Lut Chavez still at first base. Jimmy Diaz, his first at bat, struck out swinging. Diaz, 405 average, 8 doubles, 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in, swings and misses on a changeup outside. Kind of swinging out of his heels on that one, very antsy. just looking to pounce. And it's easy to say, it's hard to do, to be patient. I mean, you're going up there just trying to get your best swings on the ball. Valenzuela steps off the rubber, pretends he throws over to first base, and Luke Chavez now taking a lead at first. Curveball, swing and a miss for strike 2. So you see the sequence here very effectively by Valenzuela. It was a changeup outside, then the curveball inside. And quickly now, 0-2 to Jimmy Diaz, the star center fielder for Cienega. There's a change that's way outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Good job there by Teal, Thomas Teal, the catcher from Nogales, to pounce up and snatch that one. Teal, a senior, one of 4 in the starting lineup today for Nogales. Fastball's high, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out. Runner at first base is Luke Chavez. A 2-2 count to Jimmy Diaz. Pitches inside. Diaz just puts his hips back there to avoid getting hit by that one. And he's worked it all the way back from 0-2 now to a 3-2 count. Sal Valenzuela, the lefty. Excellent fastball with movement. The curveball, beautiful. And a changeup, nasty. Could go with either of those 3 pitches. And there's a curveball that breaks across, and I guess that was high. So a walk here for Jimmy Diaz, and there's a bit of a conversation now. And the umpire is calling time out on the field, so not quite sure what this is about. And you have Jimmy Diaz conversing with the home plate umpire, so hold everything. It's still a 3-2 count. Luke Chavez stole second base. And Jimmy goes down swinging on a nasty curveball on the inside. Chavez steals third. And he's safe at third. So a pair of stolen bases for Luke Chavez.
Now for the Bobcats, designated hitter number 13, Manny Bracamonte.
His first steals of the season. He's got 2 now in his ledger for the year. Does Luke, just a sophomore at catcher. So at third base, 90 feet away. Manny Bracamonte is the batter for Cienega. He struck out his first time. And he's batting .438 with 4 doubles and 6 runs batted in. There's a fastball just low. So again, Cienega here seems to be kind of like finding the rhythm, at least batting and trying to scratch out some hits and make some things happen on the base paths. Last inning and this inning, they've been much more active than they were in the first 2. There's a fastball that is low. Home plate umpire stayed at that one for a long time, frozen. And it's a 2-0 count. 2-0, 2 outs. Luke Chavez at third base. Sal Valenzuela gets the sign and deals. There's a pitch that's inside, so 3-0. Valenzuela, again, excellent control, excellent command. Uncharacteristic for him. Just 20 walks coming into today's game. And there's a fastball that's called for a strike on the outside corner. And a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio for Valenzuela, who is an ace. There's no other way to say it. 4-1 on the year, a .76 earned run average, a whip of 1.14. Here's a grounder, a chopper. It's going to be tricky, and it rolls foul. Really cool there by Valenzuela to watch that one go foul. So the infield here is grass. Of course, the mound is dirt, and the infield, the base paths are dirt. Beautiful, immaculate field here at War Memorial Stadium. And now we've got a 3-2 count. There's a changeup, just got a piece of that one foul off of the handle. But way in front of that one. And, you know, the changeup here almost appears as like a heat wave. You can just kind of see the ball kind of fluttering as it makes its way from the pitcher's hand to the mound. It's just kind of like a heat wave. If you look at the asphalt today at some point in the afternoon, you'll see the heat just waving off of the blacktop. So 3-2 count. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. It was a fastball up and away for Bracamonte. And that's 8 strikeouts now for Sal Valenzuela, who found himself into a bit of trouble and was able to get himself out of trouble. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Apaches up 4-0. You're listening to the game on Bobcat TV. All right, so here we are in the bottom of the 4th inning in a 2-0 count to the Apaches' leadoff batter, Ralph Felix. His first at bat, Ralph flew out to center field. He's got a .292 batting average, 5 doubles, and 20 runs batted in, and draws a walk.
Ralphie Felix draws a walk to bring up shortstop number 5, Jorge Amaya.
Jorge Amaya is an excellent fielder, right? So he's a junior, number 5. Today starting at shortstop. He can also play second base. I would imagine he can play third base too, versatility. So elite glove out there. But the times that I've seen him, he takes very advanced professional at-bats. Now flashes the bunt here. It's a high bunt. Tough place there. Pitcher no chance. And the sac bunt works, and it's also a sac single for Jorge Amaya. So very versatile player, great with the glove, and also very deft with the bat. You have Felix at second base, Amaya at first on the bunt single, and it was a difficult place. David Davila pounced off the mound to field that one, lost his footing. Happens often when you've got pitchers there trying to make a play off the field. I was talking with Kevin Williamson, who is my neighbor at Cienega High School, who is the ace teacher, who was a great pitcher for Santa Rita and also for Arizona State University. He was there with Oda B. McDowell and Barry Bonds. Those are some big names. Mike Devereaux, I think, was on that team as well. I know he was drafted, I think, by the Oakland Athletics, and eventually, I know he was in spring training with the Yankees in '89. Well, Kevin Williamson told me yesterday, he was like, yeah, he's like, for a pitcher, he's like, if somebody drops on a bunt, it just creates all sorts of difficulty for you. So if you're trying to get a pitcher out of the rhythm, a well-placed, well-timed bunt could be just the trick, and we saw that playing out on that sequence. So shout out to Kevin Williamson. Not sure if he's listening, probably not, but he's a good man. So there's a pitch called for a strike, and it's an 0-2 count here to Alain Garcia. Garcia, in his first at-bat, was a sacrificed bunt. So officially, this is his first at-bat today, and Garcia is a .442 average with 13 runs batted in, 12 runs scored, and 5 stolen bases. So a pair of runners on for the Apaches here in the bottom of the 4th. Ralph Felix is at second base, Jorge Amaya at first base. Felix drew a walk, and Amaya the single on a bunt, a beautiful bunt. And a 1-2 count here from David Davila. to Alain Garcia. There's a change up, and that one was just outside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Davila looks into Lute Chavez. Chavez has the glove on the outside. Pickoff, though, goes into center field. You got the runner at second base who was about to take off. And a good job by Jimmy Diaz in center field to back up that play. So the only way I could describe this is high leverage, stressful, and turbulent. It's been all that against David Davila today. The first inning, the Apaches brought seven batters up to the plate. They put 3 across in the bottom of the first inning. A single, a walk, a single, a fly out to left field, a walk on bases loaded that drew in a run, and a sac fly that drove in another run. So 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. And really it's been difficult sailing here. The second inning was a little bit better for Davila. The third inning, a run came across. It was an error by the shortstop on a very difficult pop fly that I know the sun was a factor for. So I'm guessing, and it's tough to see out here, some of the players have sunglasses. And I'm not sure if Anthony Montes at short has shades on or not. But tricky. And he also had a second pop fly in that third inning that he was able to field, but it took him down to his knees because he just kind of lost sight of it in the sun, which allowed Thomas Teal to score on the sac fly by David Sasueta. So those are the 4 runs accounting here. There's a pickoff throw. The tag is a miss. Isaiah has to go back and scamper to fetch that baseball, which rolled to the edge of the outfield grass. So trying to pick off the runner at second base, which is Ralph Felix. And I know Cienega's mindset here is like no more runs. So looking down at a 4-0 deficit. And conversely, Nogales and the Apaches and OJ Favela, their great coach at third base, is just trying to tack on more runs and blow this game wide open here. So a precarious moment for David Davila, the pitcher for Cienega. A lot of pressure, a lot of stress out there. And Alain Garcia, the batter, with a 3-2 count. There's the pitch. It's a fastball high. Garcia draws a walk. Ralph Felix goes to third.
Bases loaded.
Jorge Amaya goes to second base.
Center fielder number 8, Gerardo Paco.
So a pair of walks sandwiched around a single by Amaya, and the bases loaded again for Nogales. And we have a visit here from one of the coaches on Kelly Johnson's staff coming out to talk to Davila. So a long conference here. Cienega does have a pitcher warming up. And I think that's Connor Balmer, but I'm not certain. So we'll see if there's going to be a pitching change here. And again, Davila's stats coming in: 5-1, a 2.58 earned run average, 38 innings pitched, 39 hits given up, 14 runs, 36 strikeouts, 16 walks, a whip of 1.45. So good numbers here by Davila coming into the game, but you're facing one of the best lineups in the state of Arizona here in 5A with the Apaches of Nogales, and their fans are energized. So I got here at 9:30. It's one of the first people to be here. Eric Soul, the athletic director, was one of the first people to greet me. Always hospitable, always generous. And also Hector Ramirez, a staple here in Nogales, when I parked my car. And I was like, hey, can I park here? He's like, yeah. He's like, it's wide open. So there was shade there. Of course, the sun, maybe not the sun, the earth is moving around the sun, so my shade spot is probably like in full sun right now. But a long-time teacher at Nogales High School, Hector Ramirez, also a guidance counselor, eventually the dean of students, and I would say a super baseball fan. So a great contingent here. This is a great place to come watch a baseball game. Here's a flare to center field. Jimmy Diaz makes the catch and makes a strong throw all the way home on that one. So runner at third base stays put. So there's the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Apaches, number 1, second baseman, Marty Romero.
So that was Gerardo Paco, the center fielder. He singled his first time up. And in that at bat, a line out to center field. One out here. Marty Romero, the second baseman, a senior from Nogales, is the batter. He walked his first time up, and he grounded out to shortstop his second at bat. And now coming up with the bases loaded and one out. Davila with no place to put this batter. Bases loaded. Just one out. Felix at third, Amaya at second, Garcia at first. And Marty Romero switches the lumber here. He gets a new bat. He tossed that one over to Thomas Teal. And Teal tossed him another bat over. So Marty's got his bat now. Left-handed batter. Bases loaded. David Davila with the pitch. And it's a called strike on the outside. So a ball and a strike to Marty Romero. Again, my phone says 88 degrees, but I'm going to say it's already 90 plus. There's a curveball that drops in for a called strike. So 0-2. And you see the battery here for Cienega. It's David Davila, and you have Luke Chavez, the catcher. This is a sophomore, getting the signs from Kelly Johnson, the manager. It's a fastball that's inside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Marty Romero. There's a base hit, right center field. 1 run comes across. A second run stops at third base, and the bases are still loaded. RBI single by Marty Romero.
And that base knock drives in another run for the Apaches.
Ralph Felix scores. Amaya is at third base. Alain Garcia at second base. And the Apaches now with 5 runs, a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now KJ, Kelly Johnson, the manager of the Cats, takes that slow walk out to the mound, gets the ball from David Davila and gives him a pat on the back. Luke Chavez gives him a fist bump. So great effort here from David. Just high stress, high leverage, very difficult situation. And the pitcher who was warming up is Connor Balmer. Balmer is a senior, number 14. Big, strong, physical, imposing kiddo.
Number 14, Connor Balmer.
And Balmer on the season, 2-1 with a 4.60 earned run average. Started 4 games on the year. Came in relief on Wednesday to close out the game against Desert View. And his numbers, 24 1/3 innings pitched, 32 hits given up, 16 earned runs given up, 20 strikeouts, 16 walks. And I believe that Connor is going to play at Simpson College. And I'm so sorry if I have that information wrong. But I met Connor's mother and both of his grandmothers on Wednesday, watching that game just as a fan on Wednesday against Desert View. Super nice. And whatever that they had said to me, I'll reciprocate that back to you about that kid. He's a great kid. I know all 6 of the Cienega seniors on that lineup. They're all students of mine, past and present. And let me hit those seniors here while I've got a moment. So for Cienega, it's it's Denton Poe, who is, you could say he's a co-ace on that pitching staff. Connor Balmer, who is just emerging from the bullpen to take the mound for the Bobcats. Nick Herstein, Alec Krupa, Isaiah Higuera, who is the starting second baseman today, and Luis Arenas, who is the starting first baseman. So the Super Six seniors from Cienega: Denton Poe, Isaiah Higuera, Connor Balmer, Luis Arenas, Nick Herstein, and Alec Krupa. I want to put my very best out to all of those 6 cats, part of the graduating class of 2023. Probably a good time to tease for you on Bobcat TV what we've got on the docket. So on Friday, Cinco de Mayo, we will be broadcasting boys volleyball. We think that the Cats are the number 3, maybe the number 4 seed in the tournament, defending state champions in boys volleyball. So we'll bring you that coverage, match at 6 o'clock. And then on the 20th of May, we know for sure that is graduation. So we'll bring you the commencement and graduation ceremonies of Cienega High School. That game, appropriately, or that broadcast will be at Keno Stadium, down on Ajo and Forges. So we'll be at a baseball stadium on the 20th, and we also hope to have another volleyball home playoff game between the 5th and graduation. So best of luck again going out to softball, volleyball. There's a pass ball, run scampers into score. So Amaya Jorge flies in, and it's now 6 runs on the board for Nogales. All runners moving up. Marty Romero at second base, Alain Garcia at third base. And again, out of the frying pan into the fire is Connor Balmer. Very high leverage situation here. A lot of pressure with runners on the bases. Here's a fly to left field. Deep in center field, left center field, makes a great catch, Jimmy Diaz. Runner from third tags. All runners tag and move forward. It'll be an RBI sac fly by Thomas Teal.
A sac fly and a great catch in center field by Jimmy Diaz.
Alain Garcia scores. Marty Romero is at third base. And it's 7-0. Nogales putting up a couple of crooked numbers on the board in the bottom of the first inning and here in the bottom of the fourth. And 2 outs now with the runner at third base. And Sal Valenzuela, the pitcher, trying to help himself out here, takes a called strike. Again, I met his dad pregame up here in the press box. His dad's super nice, and his job was to just hit the button on the computer to advance the playlist for the kids in their warm-up, and it was great. So, again, every person that I've interacted with here at this school, every single time that we come down here to Nogales, I don't care if it's football, basketball, or baseball, we get treated like royalty. So again, thanks to Tim Colgate, who was the principal at Nogales, and to Eric Soul, the athletic director from Nogales. And then again, just props and respect and best of luck to this team and both teams moving forward. Great program. I would say one of the best programs, a blue blood program in the state of Arizona. Eric Fox chases all the way to the fence. And again, there's pretty big real estate here in foul territory down both the first and third base lines. But a great job by Fox to chase that one. It's out of play, just out of his reach beyond the fencing. So Valenzuela, a 1-2 count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. Connor Balmer, the big tall right-hander, on the hill for Cienega. And he throws the fastball on the outside and gets a swing and a miss. And Balmer stalks off the mound going toward the dugout. But for Nogales, 3 more runs across the board, extending their lead from 4 to 7 now. 7-0 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to the game on Bobcat TV. right, so here we are at the top of the 5th inning. It's 7-0 Nogales. Again, the number 3 seed in the 5A state tournament. And the batter, the leadoff batter here for Cienega is Luis Arenas. Luis popped up to shortstop his first at bat, and he's looking at an 0-2 count here. That fastball is outside. Sal Valenzuela, number 3. Before the game, I saw his family. There were a lot of number 3 jerseys here. So Nogales is wearing their home pinstripes, and their colors are maroon or burgundy and gold. White uniforms with those accents. It's a curveball. Arenas goes down swinging. Good hustle, and the throw from the catcher to first gets him out on the strikeout. So 9 strikeouts now for Sal Valenzuela. Again, Valenzuela coming in, 36 2/3 innings pitched, 22 hits given up, just 4 earned runs, 20 walks against 64 strikeouts, and those numbers are better now. So even better ratios for him. A .76 earned run average coming in with a WHIP of 1.14. WHIP is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. So I would say anything below like a 1.4 is a great WHIP. His is 1.14. For ERA, anything that's below a 3 or anything in the 3s is excellent. So, and the earned run average is how many runs a pitcher would give up on average across 9 innings pitched. So to have an ERA of .76, he gives up less than 1 run for every 9 innings pitched. And of course, high school, they go 7 innings. But anyway, his numbers are superb. His stuff is amazing. It's electric. A big imposing left-hander with a fastball with excellent velocity and movement, the curveball and the changeup. There's a fastball that paints the inside corner for a called strike 3. So Isaiah Higuera goes down on strikes, looking at strikeout number 10 for Valenzuela. He's pitching a gem. There's no other way to classify this here this afternoon. Joey Steiger, in his last at-bat, he doubled, and he was stranded at third base. Steiger, .262 batting average for the right-hander, the junior, the left fielder for the Cats, number 18. But we knew coming in that Valenzuela on the mound is very intimidating, very imposing, very crafty. Fastball up a little bit. So a 2-0 count here to Steiger. There's a fastball that's inside. So 3 balls and no strikes now to Joey Steiger. Sal Valenzuela takes a little bit of a stroll off the back of the mound. His second baseman, Marty Romero, comes in to talk to him. So Sal and Marty are having a conversation there behind the mound. And Marty gives him a little pat on the back there and is like, all right, let's go. So Sal now on the bump. Looks into his catcher, Thomas Teal. Love it. He's got his glove up right in front of his face there. Kind of like Andy Pettit, for anybody who watched him pitch through the 90s into the 2000s for the Yankees or the Astros. So there's a called strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. There's a foul tip that the catcher Teal holds on to. It was a fastball outside. Just got a little piece of that one, did Steiger. Now it's a full count. Curveball, center field. Gerardo Paco takes a couple of steps in, makes the catch. So a 1-2-3 inning for Valenzuela. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Apaches on top, 7-0. All right, that was a difficult one. So it was a mile-high pop-up to first base. You had 3 cats. You had Connor Balmer, the pitcher. You had the Cats second baseman, and you had Luis Arenas at first base, and the pop just dropped. So we'll call that a single, because if you can't see the ball, how can you catch it? So David Sasueta at first base with a single, and here's Alan Durazo, the right fielder, the junior, the left-handed batter, who watches that pitch for ball 1. So 7-0 Nogales here as we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sorry, bottom of the 5th inning. It is bottom 5, right, Eric? Bottom of the 5th?
Bottom 6.
Bottom 6th. All right, I missed something. 4, 5, 6. Bottom of the 6th inning. So Sweat at first base. And there's a fastball on the outside. So Balmer's got good velocity, right? Big, tall, strapping kid, like very muscular, well-built. I'm sure he's in Steve Schween's weight room on the daily, just crushing weights and getting his reps and lifting iron. There's a nice bunt. Balmer fields nicely, throws over to first. Nice play. It was a good bunt there by Durazo, who has great speed in right field, but well fielded by Connor. Again, a big, tall kid who has to hunch over to pick up, and then threw off of his back foot, but made an accurate throw to first base to Arenas to get Durazo. So Durazo's out on the sacrifice bunt. It'll be 1-3. Sasueta goes to second base on the sacrifice. And here's Ralph Felix, the first baseman, another left-handed batter. He is 1 for 2. A fly out to center field, and he drew a walk and scored his last at bat. It is bottom of 5. Okay, that's all right. No, it's okay. I get confused very easily, so it's all right, man. All right, so we are bottom of the 5th, and that's why you use a pencil when you're keeping book. I don't think anybody keeps book at home, but when you're keeping a scorebook, it's always nice to use a pencil just in case you make a mistake. So bottom of the 5th inning, 7-0 Nogales. There's 1 out, a runner at second base, and the runner at second base is David Sasueta. Ralph Felix is the batter. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Felix, 292 batting average, 20 runs batted in, 2 stolen bases, 15 runs scored. First baseman. Here's a base hit in the alley in right field. So he's flying around first base, heading for second. A run scores on that one, and it's a stand-up double for Ralph.
That's a double to the gap by first baseman Ralphie Felix, driving in a run. Bringing up shortstop number 5, Jorge Amaya.
Sasueta scores on the double. And here's Jorge Amaya. Amaya, a pair of singles in his 2 at-bats. A sharply laced single and a bunt single that was beautifully placed, I guess, to the right of the pitcher's mound. He also scored a run. Starting shortstop, the smooth fielding infielder, Jorge Amaya, with his teammate Ralphie Felix at second base. Felix driving that double deep into the alley in right center field. And there's a fastball from Connor Balmer that is high. So a ball and no strikes. That pitch is low. A good block there by Luke Chavez, the catcher. It was a fastball that was low in the dirt. So a nice job of him to just shuffle over and block that one. Felix at second's got some decent speed, a pair of stolen bases on the year for the junior first baseman. Balmer, 2-0, deals. Fastball's high. It's now 3 balls and no strikes. There's a called strike on the outside. So 3 balls and a strike to Jorge Amaya. Ralph Felix at second base. 1 out. That pitch is fouled off, out of play, behind the grandstand down the third base line. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Amaya. Ballmer's got the glove in front of his face. Now pitching from the stretch, and the fastball's in the dirt for ball 4. So a walk for Jorge. Runners now at first and second. And that brings up Alain Garcia. Garcia drew a walk and scored a run his last at bat. He dropped a sacrifice bunt down in his first at bat. And he's looking at his teammates at first and second base. There's a curveball outside in the dirt. Both runners are scampering forward. Both runners advance. Chavez blocked it nicely, but the runners were moving. So aggressive base running here, exactly what you want to see. A little bit of small ball. Again, just constant pressure being applied here all afternoon by these Apaches of Nogales. Garcia now, a 1-0 count. Runners at second and third. Fouls that one off out of play. Yeah, I got here at 9:30. Cienega's bus from Vail arrived at 10 o'clock. They had about an hour to get loose and warmed up and ready to go. A loose bunch coming off of the bus, but a formidable challenge we knew coming into today's game against the number 3 seed in the tournament, the Nogales Apaches. One of the best programs in the state of Arizona. They lost in the state title game last year to the Vipers of Verado High School. And there's a nice curveball from Connor. Gets a swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Apaches in their history, 11 state championships. They have 7 of them starting in the 1950s. From 1951 to 1971, 7 state championships. In 76 and 81, a pair of titles under Bob Young. And in 2017 and 2018, a pair of titles under O.J. Favela. Nice job there by Luis Arenas to snare that pop foul for the second out. So 2 outs here, and now back to the top of the order. It's their leadoff batter, Gerardo Paco, the senior center fielder. He has a single and he scored a run in the first inning. He lined out on a sharp liner to center field his last at bat, and he has a robust batting average of .342. 7 doubles, a triple, 10 runs batted in, 22 runs scored, 5 stolen bases. Your prototypical leadoff hitter who also plays a great center field and covers a lot of territory out there in this cavernous stadium. Fastball just outside. Umpire took a second look at that one. So it's a 2-0 count here to Paco. Again, runners at second and third. And Nogales an 8-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Fastball's high, 3 balls and a strike. A lot of chatter in that Nogales Apaches dugout, as you would expect. Kids just feeling it here. Here's a drive into left field. Joey Steiger tracks over to his left, makes the catch, and ends the inning. But the Apaches put another run across the board and extend their lead to 8-0. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning with Nogales up 8-0.
We were trying to get something like that.
Easy and inexpensive, I would say. So here we are in the top of the 6th inning, and the batter for Cienega is Emiliano Mejia, the right fielder. He flew out to third base, his first at bat. He's looking down at a 1-2 count here. Curveball drops across just inside. So again, this is Sal Valenzuela's game. He's been dealing. There's no other way to put this. The Bobcats have scratched across two hits and a walk. They have a single, a double, and there's a strikeout swinging by Mejia. And that's strikeout number 11 for Sal Valenzuela, who again is elite. He's one of the best pitchers in the state of Arizona as a junior. Left-handed pitcher, fastball with great velocity and movement, the curveball that he can drop across the zone, and a changeup to keep batters off balance. Anthony Montes is the batter. He's 0 for 2, and he takes a called fastball on the outside for a strike. Good swing there, a little inside-out swing. So it was a fastball that was low and in. Montez just trying to serve that one to right field. It's fouled down the first base line. 0-2 count to Montez. Anthony, just a sophomore, starting shortstop today. Excellent player, excellent out in the field. He struggled a little bit today. It's the sun. The sun is so bright, and these kids are not accustomed to that kind of sunshine. Great stab there off a bounce back that went to the pitcher's mound. Sal Valenzuela goes high to snare that one. Makes the easy throw over to first base for the out.
Catcher, number 8, Luke Chavez.
So quickly 2 outs here, and here's Luke Chavez. Chavez singled, still second, still third his last at bat. He also struck out looking in his first plate appearance. And Lute is an excellent player. And again, another sophomore that's out there. And I think that's it. So Sal Valenzuela has hit his pitch limit. And you've got the assistant coach coming out there to congratulate him. And I've got to go into my old record keeping. So that's Robert Gallego. Gallego was a great shortstop here at Nogales. Also started at Pima Community College. Assistant coaches Aloysius Cruz, Oscar Favela Sr., Miguel Cresantes, and the head coach O.J. Favela, legendary coach here at Nogales.
Number 14, Esteban Acevedo.
So Esteban Acevedo, who is the closer for the Apaches. Acevedo, let me find his stats here. He is 0-0 on the year, 11 appearances with 1 save, an earned run average of 1.56, 18 innings pitched, 13 hits, 18 strikeouts, and just 6 walks allowed. So let me do some, I can't do this in my head. Let me use my phone for one of the 3 things I use it for. Weather forecasting, GPS, and the calculator. So let's see, he's got 13 hits plus 6 walks. 19 divided by 18. His whip is 1.05. So excellent stats here for Esteban. The big right-hander imposing. I know he's fastball, curveball, slider, curve, change. Also throws a forkball and a split-fingered fastball that he's trying to work on. So we'll see if we can identify the differences among those pitches. I'm not sure, and I'm sure my guy Kevin Williamson can tell me the difference between a forkball and a split-fingered fastball. I presume that the forkball is more of a change-up with less velocity. The split-fingered fastball is more of a high-velocity pitch, just drops off the table pretty abruptly. So that's how I discern a forkball from a splitter. What do I know? I'm just a baseball fan. So we'll see how he deals with Acevedo. Again, big tall kid, imposing out there on the hill. And he is a senior. And he's out here to close this game out, but a beautiful game pitched by Sal Valenzuela. Just dealing zeros across the board. Only gave up 2 hits in his 5 2/3 innings pitched. Acevedo here is called on to get the last out of the 6th inning and 3 outs in the 7th inning to close this one out. So the fastball drops across the inside corner for a called strike. Acevedo's a right-hander, so Valenzuela a lefty. And a ground ball to shortstop. Oh, it just took a little bit of an errant hop there. I think the shortstop had it fielded. He was already thinking about making the throw across the diamond. So we'll call that an error on Jorge Amaya.
Baseman number 40, Eric Fox.
Again, a very smooth fielding shortstop, so uncharacteristic for him.
Number 11, Carlos Aruno.
So E6 on the error. Again, it was a grounder to short, not too sharply hit. And you had Jorge Amaya, who was right there, had the ball in his glove, and just kind of botched it on the exchange. Eric Fox now is the batter. You have a pinch runner at first base. Let's see who that pinch runner is for Cienega. And the pinch runner for Cienega is number 11, Carlos Alonia. So Alonia at first base, the junior with good speed out there. And there's a 1-0 count to Eric Fox. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. A ball and a strike to Fox. Fox in his 2 at-bats has struck out swinging both times. Curveball, grounded to short. Backhanded by Amaya, goes to second, gets a force at second base for the 3rd out. So Amaya, who bobbled the previous chance, very smooth as is his customary style there. An easy pickup there on the backhand and a nice throw to second base to get the out. 6-4 to end the inning. The Cats leave a runner on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning with Nogales up on top 8-0.
That's what we do, right? So you're gonna have your technical kids, which is you guys, I guess. You're gonna have your sports fanatics. You've got kids who love sports.
Yeah.
They just watch sports all the time. Baseball, football, basketball. Kids watching the NFL draft right now. Whatever it is, you're gonna have those kids. So you find your kids who love sports, and you put them with a microphone and let them call the game.
Leading off in the bottom of the 6th inning, Apache, second baseman number 1, Marty Romero.
You guys can do this. You can easily do this.
100%. All right, so here we are now in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Marty Romero, the 2-hitter, followed by Thomas Teal and Sal Valenzuela, and we'll see if he's batting for himself. We'll find out in a moment. And Cienega, it's still Connor Balmer, the senior, number 14, on the hill. Connor's fastball, curveball, changeup. That pitch is inside. It's 2-0. And again, I can't understate this. It's so hot out there, and there's no cloud coverage. Beautiful blue sky, for sure. The backdrop, which I should have framed this a long time ago, when you look out from behind home plate and you look off in the distance behind the fencing in the outfield, you've got the rolling hills here of Nogales, and you've got, I'll call them haciendas, that are up there in the mountains or in the foothills of this little mountain range, or this little hillside that we're looking at here. I think elevation is 4,000 feet in Nogales, so 4,000 feet above sea level. Not sure how that works geographically. Marty Romero draws the walk here as a leadoff batter.
Leadoff walk brings up.
You've got overflow parking with fans sitting on the roofs or the beds of their pickup trucks. And I've got about 15 or 20 heads that I'm counting in left center field, the alley in left center field. So overflow parking, some people tailgating back there as well, and a beautiful stadium here, War Memorial Stadium in Nogales, Arizona. Balmer throws the curveball, which is called strike 1. Thomas Teal. Teal's had a big day at the plate. A couple of singles, pair of RBIs, a pair of runs scored, and a sacrifice fly for Teal, who has also been sublime at catcher today. And boy, his battery mate, Sal Valenzuela, pitched a gem. 5 2/3 innings, I think 2 hits, no runs, and 10 strikeouts for Valenzuela. Marty Romero, the batter at first base, being held at first by Luis Arenas. A sharply laced single to center field that just gets over the outstretched glove of Cienega's second baseman, Ryan Fulcher. So Fulcher has subbed in for Isaiah Higuera defensively at second base. Let me hit the rest of the defense out there for Cienega. Joey Steigers in left field, Jimmy Diaz in center field, Emiliano Mejia in right field, Eric Fox at third base, Anthony Montes at shortstop. Now it's Ryan Fulcher at second base, who replaced Isaiah Higuera, who started at second. Luis Arenas at first base, Luke Chavez at catcher. The starting pitcher from Cienega, David Davila, is out of the game, and he's been replaced by Connor Balmer, who came in last inning. So Thomas Teal at the plate, Marty Romero at second base off the steal. He's now got 4 stolen bases on the season. And you're looking again at a lineup from Nogales top to bottom that is just operates like clockwork. You have a lot of high contact hitters. You got some power in there in the middle, very patient hitters, and defensively adept. And replacing the pitcher, Esteban Acevedo. So if I can find his batting stats, which is quite a challenge here. 267 batting average, a pair of doubles in just 17 plate appearances, so very capable there is Acevedo. A pop here behind second base, and Anthony Montes there corrals that one, so he's got the sunglasses on now. And he makes that catch.
Now batting for the Apaches, designated hitter number 20.
First out of the inning, and David Sasueta comes up. Sasueta is 1 for 2, a single. He drew a walk and also a sacrifice fly, driving in 2 runs. He drew a bases-loaded walk in his first plate appearance in the bottom of the first inning. The sac fly came in the 3rd inning. He singled and scored in the 5th inning. So having a great day at the plate is Sasueta, whose batting average is over 400. Fastball's high. Again, Nogales on top, 8-0 here, trying to tack across a couple more runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Connor Balmer, the pitcher for Cienega, that pitch is fouled off out of play behind the grandstand.
Ladies and gentlemen, pinch running at first for the Apaches is freshman Nico Bernal.
Nico Bernal is the pinch runner at first base. Just a freshman, so nice way to get your feet wet here. Get a little bit of playoff experience. Certainly beneficial. Fastball inside, handcuff the batter, fouled off, straight back behind the plate by Sasueta, off of his hands. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. You have runners at first and second base. Again, a sweltering Saturday here on the 29th of April. Fastball is low, maybe a little bit inside. And a 2-ball and 2-strike count to number 22, David Sasueta, the junior designated hitter, who's batting today in place of Carlos Peralta, the 3rd baseman from Nogales. There's a fastball high, and it's fouled up out of play down the first base side. Fastball outside, way outside on that one. Now it's a full count. Three-two pitch. Connor Balmer from the stretch. Looks to runner back at second base. And now he deals. And he bounces that one, I think, off of home plate for ball 4. So Sueta draws his second walk of the afternoon. Romero at third base. Teal at second. Bases juiced for Alan Durazo, the junior right fielder. Also had the privilege of seeing Mr. Durazo, his dad, the last time we were here at Nogales on the 18th of April, who I think was running scoreboard that evening. And then I saw him today. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be in the dugout today. So it's just nice to say hello to him and wish him the best of luck, and his son best of luck today and moving forward. Super nice guy, right? Say the same thing about every person that I've interacted with here in Nogales. So Durazo, sac fly RBI his first at bat, struck out swinging his second at bat, sacrifice bunt to the pitcher in his third at bat, and now he's up here with a 2-ball and no strike count. That pitch was up and away. Durazo, a lefty batter. Connor Balmer, big, tall, strong right-hander. Throws that little change up, maybe a curveball on that one. Had Durazo, again, an aggressive swing there, looking to attack the zone. A little bit out in front of that one, so he just pulled the string on it. Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that pitch is in the dirt low and outside. A nice pick there by Luke Chavez, the great sophomore catcher from Cienega. Such a bright future for that kid. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curveball, Durazo on that one, fouls it behind home plate, out of play. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but I know that Jimmy Diaz's dad, is broadcasting video through Game Changer. So if you have the Game Changer app and you have it through Cienega Baseball, you're able to watch at least the video from behind home plate. And then, of course, we're providing the audio commentary here today with Bobcat TV. It's Jason Miller solo this afternoon. Swing and a miss, struck out swinging by Alan Durazo.
First baseman, number 9, Ralph Felix.
2 outs, and that brings up Ralph Felix. Ralph doubled his last at-bat and drove in a run. He walked and scored his previous at-bat, and he also flew out to center field his first time up.
Now batting for the Apaches, number 21, freshman Diego Gomez.
So it'll be a pinch hitter here. Diego Gomez, the freshman, is the batter. And I've got no stats for him, which is fine. So again, it's a great opportunity for a freshman to get a plate appearance in a varsity baseball game and a state playoff game. So I just love the approach here from OJ Favela, giving some of his younger underclassmen some experience, not just at the varsity level, but a playoff game, a state playoff game. So great at building experience. Gomez, another lefty. A lot of lefties in this lineup for Nogales, which is a luxury. No other way to describe that. So here's Diego, the freshman, who looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. So Diego, I would imagine, would take over at first base. He takes a pitch up and away for ball 2. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for Cienega. It's Connor Balmer on the hill. And the base is loaded with 2 outs and a 2-0 pitch to Diego Gomez. Pitch is upside. There's a throw down the third base, and it goes over Fox. The runner from third scampers home and will score. The throw to third base, the umpire, the field umpire, they're a little bit ambitious on calling the out. The third baseman, Eric Fox, never had the baseball. So you have runners advancing here on the wild throw. It'll be E2 on the throw from the catcher, Luke Chavez. You have Marty Romero, who scampered home to score on that play, the 9th run. And you've got Thomas Teal, who is at third base. David Sasueta now at second. So second and third. Still 2 outs. And now a 2-2 count to Diego Gomez. Yeah, the throw, so you had, it was really a pickoff throw from Chavez to third base, but the throw sailing there, way over Eric Fox's head at third base. Take the tallest player from Cienega, who I think is Alec Krupa at 6'5", and Krupa can't get to that one, not even skying high. So just a wild throw there, trying to get that quick release, and didn't really have a great grip on it. So you have all runners advancing, and Marty Romero scoring the 9th run for Nogales. Full count here, 2 outs. Fastball's high. And Gomez, Diego, in his first appearance here, draws a walk, and now the bases are loaded again. Diego's at first, David Sasueta at second, Thomas Teal at third.
Eddie Salcedo.
And Eddie Salcedo, the sophomore, at the bat. He has just 1 plate appearance this year. He's 0 for 1. So his second at bat of the year. Eddie Salcedo pinch hitting instead of Jorge Amaya. And I'm guessing that Eddie will play shortstop, but we'll see how they match up defensively for the top of the 7th inning. Again, another opportunity for an underclassman, all the hard work these kids put into practice all year long. I'm sure probably getting some reps at the JV level as well. But Salcedo, just a sophomore. A pass ball, and the runner here sliding head first. Connor Baum recovering, but not in time. And there's the 10th run, and that's going to do it, folks. So Thomas Teal, and I think it was a pinch runner for him who scored that 10th and decisive run. And I know that Cienega is certainly disappointed here today, but they played a great season.
Cienega Bobcats 0. We want to congratulate the Cienega Bobcats on a tremendous season, making it to the 5A baseball state tournament.
So 10 runs put across the board here. And scoring the 10th run.
Dallas Apaches will be back in action Monday here at War Memorial Baseball Park, taking on the winners of Williams Field and Millennium. 4 p.m. War Memorial Baseball Park Monday.
All right, so let's kind of wrap this. So looking at the bracket here in the tournament, Nogales advances. The Apaches, the number 3 seed in the tournament, and they will play the winner of a game that's happening and may have concluded at Williams Field High School between the number 6 seed Williams Field and number 11 Millennium. So the winner of that game will come down here on Monday. It's a 4 o'clock game. It'll either be Millennium or Williams Field taking on the Apaches of Nogales. Same time, same place, different time. So Monday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But again, just let me kind of touch on this. So Sal Valenzuela is my player of the game. The kid was just dealing 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, no runs. He was just absolutely unhittable, in complete command and control of the ball game this afternoon, stifling the Bobcat offensive attack. And it was 10 runs scored. So I want to put my congratulations out there to Nogales, their fantastic coach Ove Favela and his great coaching staff, and this wonderful community and school. Best of luck to Nogales Monday and moving forward. For Cienega High School, the Bobcats of Cienega under KJ Kelly Johnson, these kids had a great season, and I think with the loss today they fall to 13-15 on the year. And probably the biggest feather in their cap was beating these Apaches on their home field at the stadium on the 18th of April, 11 days ago. And I'm sure that Nogales remembered that coming into the playoff game here. Different game going from regular season into the playoffs. So probably the highlight of the year for Cienega was upsetting Nogales at this beautiful ballpark, War Memorial Stadium. And I have to throw it out there to my Fab 6 seniors from Cienega, Denton Poe and Isaiah Higuera, Connor Balmer, Luis Arenas, Nick Herstein, Alec Krupa. Those are all my kids, right? Kids that I have in class currently. Denton Poe I had as a freshman, and those guys are all fantastic. So I'm so proud of all those 6 seniors from Cienega, graduates of the class of 2023. And I think sometimes you're just a little bit outmatched. And when you're dealing with the ace pitcher from an opposing team, which is what Sal Valenzuela is, he's not just an ace for Nogales, he's an ace across the entire landscape of Arizona. You know it's a very formidable challenge. You're playing on somebody else's home field. They have their fan base here, which is energized. That comes out and shows out for every single baseball game, and they're in a celebratory mood. So again, I want to congratulate OJ Favela, who has 2 state championships in his 19th seasons at Nogales as their head coach, a winning percentage of 720 plus. He's been in the title game 4 times. He won back-to-back in 17 and 18, lost last year to Verado, lost in 2019, a team, again, that every year has their sights set on the state championship. So I want to wish them the very best. And I'll just say this there now, like I'm rooting for Nogales to win the state title in 5A. So having said that, I want to thank Nick Irvin, my guy, who is our technical director. He's the director of Bobcat TV, for his tech support today. I want to thank Daniel in the tech office, and Kayla and Bob in the tech office, Bob Koenig at Cienega High School, for loaning me a laptop to make this happen today. And one more time, I'll thank Tim Colgate, the principal of Nogales, Eric Soul, the athletic director of Nogales High School, and just put my very best out there to the entire community of Nogales for all of their hospitality and generosity. Met some kiddos from the audio-visual class here, film and TV program, and these kids are they're gonna be streaming, and they're gonna be up and running before you know it, and that's something that we want to collaborate with from Cienega High School. So expect that, Nogales. You're gonna start streaming games. I don't know if it's gonna be here in the spring, but certainly by the fall with football, you guys will be up and running too. Anybody can do it. It's not that hard. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. I'm Jason Miller, and for Cienega Bobcat TV, we'll be back on Cinco de Mayo on Friday as the Cats volleyball team under Heather Mott, that dynamite group, defending state champions in 5A for boys volleyball. They will host a playoff game at 6 o'clock. So we'll see you on Friday, May 5th, 6 p.m., and we'll also do at least one more home volleyball playoff match, hopefully, and then also we'll wrap up the year with Bobcat TV coverage on Saturday, May 20th. It's the graduation and commencement ceremonies for the class of 2023. Be sure to stay tuned on Bobcat TV for that. Be sure to like and subscribe our channel if you like our video and what we do, and we'll see you next time right here on Bobcat TV. Good afternoon, everybody.